NWA Worldwide Wrestling welcomes you to Cincinnati and the Cincinnati Gardens for an exciting hour of the NWA. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Schiavone. David Crockett not with us here this week. He's on assignment. Bob Cottle will be with us with many great interviews, including talking to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Also, the heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy Ric Flair. During this hour, we're going to take a look at something you saw at the top of the program, situation which has developed between Mike Rotunda of the Varsity Club, of course, Kevin Sullivan and Rick Steiner involved, and Barry Windham. And also, we're going to see Barry Windham and Lex Luger in a big tag team match, plus much other coming your way. Also, fans, as you know, the Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament comes your way April 22nd and 23rd. The first date is Greenville, South Carolina, the Memorial Auditorium, and then the finals will be in Greensboro on April 23rd. It should be a big 2 days of the greatest tag teams in the world, and the teams are gearing up right now. We're going to see a lot of hot tag team competition here today. We're ready to go with action, fans. Waste no more time. Let's go to the ring. Randy Anderson, your referee, and great to have you with us because tag teams, we talked about the tag teams gearing up. There's no doubt, as you can see, the Terminator riding right into Barry Windham, but a reversal of the Big Texan and a high backdrop to begin things. The Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament, yes, it's here. But you know, when you talk about guys like Windham and Luger, you got to look further than just tag teams. They're a great tag team, no doubt. But these two men, singles competition, top contenders, Ric Flair in the NWA World Heavyweight title, as Luger gets a tag and a double elbow right there. Or, what about Mike Rotunda in the World Television title? We're going to be talking to Barry Windham a little bit later on about that situation. Yeah, when the Varsity Club's involved, they're out to, as much as win matches or keep a title, they're out to hurt somebody, and Barry Windham knows that firsthand. Big Tony Suber in now, and he and Lex Luger exchanging blows right and left. Picks up the big man and slams him down. Now Suber is way over 300 pounds, and Luger went right at him. Windham with a tag, and the native of Sweetwater up on top, right down on the back. The keys to great tag team wrestling is, first of all and foremost, knowing your partner. Power slam. They got him for a power slam. They got a 2 count out of it. But knowing, being able to think alike. That's what made the great tag teams down through the years like the Andersons so dominant in the sport. And Luger and Windham, although they've been friends for a long time, as people know, Luger tries to get the big man up, slipped right away. As you know, the great tag teams down the years have been so dominant. Luger and Windham know each other quite well, being friends from way back. Tag is made to Barry Windham, and Windham now waits on the man. Here he comes out of the corner with the flying lariat. Exploding out of the corner. Barry Windham. And you can put it in the bank. Windham and Luger chalk up another one. Well, the win over the Terminator, Tony Suber. Two big men, strong, powerful men. But Luger and Windham took it right to him as we take a look one more time at how it happened. Out of the corner. Exploding. Barry Windham. You know what? There's Barry Windham and Lex Luger. Okay, gentlemen, Barry, we saw at the top of the program the situation with Mike Rotunda and the Varsity Club.
You know, everybody in this building has seen what happened with Mike Rotunda and Kevin Sullivan and Rick Steiner. Let me tell you something. You people, I can always take care of myself. I've always been able to take care of whatever happens to me and handle it on my own. But you don't know, you don't understand what you've done. You opened a can of worms. I have friends that will watch over me and take care of me. You 3 people tried to snuff me out. You put a coat hanger around my throat and tried to shut the lights out on me. But it's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. Kevin Sullivan, I know you're behind all this, and I'm not going to let it happen at all. Kevin Sullivan, before we're through, I'll have a coat hanger, a rope, anything I can find around your throat, and they may never see you again. You know, Barry Windham sounds a little emotional. He and I both have good reason to be. It seems every time a new boy or a new gang comes to town, they want to pick out the top dogs to make a reputation. They want to take on the hottest guys, and that's Windham and Luger. Well, you picked your path. You made your bed. Now you live in it. You just kicked off. You just lit the fuse on two of the wrong guys this time around. You call yourself the Varsity Club. We'll take you back to the circus where you belong with your music, and we'll put you back in a junior high. That's where Varsity Club belongs. And they talk about world titles. Blanche and Anderson always talk about the Crockett Cup already. Well, don't count your chickens before they're hatched, because you got to deal with us. You got to deal with us for a long time. This is a tag team to deal with. And we're coming after the world title. And Flair, I got a message for you. You got your hand full with Sting right now. But let me tell you something. Sooner or later, we're going to meet one-on-one, title or no title. You can count on us.
We'll be back right after this, fans. There's no doubt about it. Two very tough individuals in the NWA World TV Champion, Mike Rotunda, the so-called Florida Heavyweight Champion, Rick Steiner, with Kevin Sullivan, the games master at ringside. He is such an influence, such an influential person on their not only career, but their lives, their absolute disposition. Barry Colley and Max MacGyver in there, and they are just two men, and you got to realize this when you're going against the Varsity Club, two men who are actually putting their careers in jeopardy. They're two very young men, have not been long in the sport, but guys like Steiner and Rotunda are out to hurt them. That's what Sullivan wants. That's what he wanted from Barry Windham, and you saw an interview just moments ago with usually Barry Windham's very sedate, very laid back, very calm about anything. But he certainly was not calm about what had happened, and it was mostly directed at, whoa, Sullivan nails him with a foot. Stop it away, the games master. Usually Windham very sedate, but he was really directed all of his venom right at Kevin Sullivan. And when you think back about how at one time he and Rotunda were such close, good friends, and I'm sure what happened just really, as much as hurting physically, really hurt him inside also. Rotunda drops down the leg right across Max MacGyver. But Windham is not the only man who feels some animosity towards Kevin Sullivan. There's many people, including gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, Ron Garvin. Things that have been said, the exchanges they've had, and I mean, he really decapitated him that time. Rick Steiner, from a standing position, just leaped forward and caught MacGyver. A great crowd on hand at the Cincinnati Gardens, the NWA, wherever we go. The fan support is there. Enjoy seeing our fans all over the country. Such a great sports city is Cincinnati, and they love the NWA. As Rotunda looks out and looks around at the fans, that over-the-top suplex move, certainly a great one. And Sullivan over here with a cackling, maniacal-type laugh. There's that hold of Steiner's submission hold that puts the man right out, and he still stomps away. Sullivan right to my left, enjoying every minute of it, claiming the men are sportsmen, but that is anything but the truth. There are your winners, the Varsity Club, Rotunda, Steiner, Sullivan at ringside. Go take a look at that move one more time. I'm not going to say they're sportsmen to go that far, but I'm going to say they're great athletes. No denying that. Your winners, the Varsity Club, along with Games Master Kevin Sullivan, who joined us right here at ringside at this time.
Let me tell you something. I heard Barry Windham out here saying, they'll snuff the life out of me. Finally, someone understands what the Varsity Club is all about. What the Varsity Club is termination. You see, Barry, you said we opened a can of worms. Well, when we get through with you, there's nothing but a field full of worms.
I think we need to take a look at one blatant attempt to end a man's career.
It is a blatant attempt, and Tony, I don't want to win matches. You see, I believe in extinction, and I heard Dusty Rhodes talking about that I'm evil, and evil lives in my heart, and lives in all of the Varsity's heart. You see, Barry Windham, you got away by the hair of your life. I'm talking now about the Crockett Cup. There's supposed to be 10 teams in the Crockett Cup. The way I see it, if they're eliminated, extinct, there'll only be one team, and that's the Varsity Club. And Luger, you can cry, baby. Luger, if you're talking about being the top dog around here, when I was a kid, I used to take all the puppies that were unfit from my German Shepherd and put them in a sack and tie the sack real tight and send them to the river. That's right.
The Varsity Club fans, more right after this timeout. You know, one thing we've always said about the NWA, and certainly fans across the country, like all the great fans here tonight in Cincinnati, know, and that is the NWA has the greatest athletes in the world. And here is one right here. The strong man, the powerful man. We talk about him being from Florida State, the fine defensive nose guard he was, consensus All-American Ron Simmons, but also a man who's very proud of the fact that he is from the state of Georgia, from Macon, Georgia, and just one phenomenal athlete, as you can tell, the upper body development, but a man also, as he puts the lock right on David Isley, right on the chin, a man also who is really coming along in this sport. It's not an easy transition. You ask anybody in the sport from professional football, or from college football, even professional, as far as some of the great athletes who have come from the professional ranks, but from the college ranks or any football ranks to go into the world of professional wrestling. But Simmons is making that transition and doing quite nicely with moves like that. Devastating move. And that's all for David Isley. You can forget it. Ron Simmons, we talked about his rise to the top, and there's no doubt another impressive win for Ron Simmons.
You know, Double A, it's about time. We've been in all kinds of matches, cage matches, stampede matches, everything, but the Nassau Coliseum, it's about time New York has seen just exactly what the Horsemen, and especially Arn and myself, do best. And that's tag team wrestling. The world's tag team champions. We don't have to have the belts because the people know they carry themselves, they walk, talk, and act like champions 24 hours a day. That's why we're Horsemen, and that's why when we step foot in the Nassau Coliseum against Barry Windham and Lex Luger, and we defend those titles, we're going to walk out and head down to Manhattan and have one heck of a time, the champions. There's an old saying, it goes either or get off the pot. The bottom line is you got to quit making promises unless you're going to keep them. The way you develop credibility in this business, Luger and Windham, is you set a goal for yourself. If you want to let the people in on it, then do that. But when you set that goal and you indicate to those people that follow you, then you've got to come through with it. Now, up until this point, all you've been doing is blowing smoke up each other's you-know-what. Because the bottom line is you stand out here with your Mutual Admiration Society, show me a bicep shot stinger, hit a pose Lex, brush that hair Barry. You have a Mutual Admiration Society if you want to. You keep in mind when you get to the Nassau Coliseum, that's where we're.
Coming to you from the Cincinnati Gardens, and what a great facility this is. And we talked about a great sports town. There's Larry Zbyszko with Baby Doll, the Western States Heritage Champion, as he has that confident look is always on his face. Conferring with Baby Doll, and More than just a pretty cover to that book, fans. Baby doll, a very plotting mind. George Fox, the opponent for Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko talks about the stairway to heaven. He talks about his logical progression to being on top of the sport. And there's no doubt that his guns are sent right for, oh, what a great martial arts karate kick that was. And now going right to the side of the head. There's no doubt he has his sights set on Dusty Rhodes, and who's to deny this man? We knew when he arrived at the NWA, he had all the credentials. This is not a rookie. This is a veteran who's been in many ring wars. And right now he's stomping away right at George Fox. Always talking to the fans, not really having anything nice to say to him. Right down by the back of the head, it's stomped right on the chest. Having a word to the fans and a snap back to kick George Fox over. Randy Anderson warning the man. I don't know if you can hear what he said or not. I know the fans are very vocal, very loud, very excited about this match. What he was talking about, Dusty Rhodes, and wanting Dusty Rhodes out right now. And with moves like that, there's no doubt that Zbyszko, yes, can go right to the top of this floor. He is the Western States Heavy Champion. But according to these two men, that man and Baby Doll, no doubt, it's just a stepping stone.
Nassau Coliseum. You know, the Road Warriors are trying to save face. Chicago street fight with friends, lumberjacks around the ring. They think that that's going to scare the #1, baddest, world's strongest wrestlers. Power of Pain. Well, let me tell you something, Road Warriors. It's going to be one heck of a fight. But you're not the team that you used to be. I understand. Animal is going to be back. Well, Animal, I know, and you know you're not 100%. And I know that you told Hawk already the power, the pain that you have suffered in the weeks and weeks that you were laying in bed. Well, brother, Nassau Coliseum, you're going to see Road Warriors lose their first Chicago street fight right in the middle of the ring. I made predictions before. They've all come true, and this one is no exception.
Young, exciting Shane Douglas going up against Rick Arassi in this next event on NWA Worldwide Wrestling. Wherever you are, we welcome you to the Major League of Professional Wrestling. I know you enjoy watching our program as much as we enjoy bringing it to your home, to your business, wherever you may be during the week. And I know it's really good to see a young guy like Shane Douglas really make his way up in this sport. He has been teaming on occasion with the young, exciting Ricky Santana. They make a great combination. Possibility for a combination coming up with the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament, but he also has his eye on many titles in this sport. There's Mike Rotunda and that World Television title. There's Larry Zbyszko, the Western States title. Great. Flying Larry at that time. Type of move from Douglas. Picks up Arassi and slams him hard to the mat. The key to Shane Douglas has always been in not only intensity, but staying one step ahead of his opponent. Notice the snapmare. Now, he'll immediately go to another move. He won't tell the man to get up. He won't turn around to the fans usually and show a fist and give the man time to catch his breath. He stays right on top of him. Hard snap suplex over the top. And Shane Douglas quickly now, notice, and go pick him up one more time to the side headlock before Arassi has a chance to regain his facilities and get his senses back. Side headlock for the youngster out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A lot of great wrestlers have come from there. One of them, the man we just saw, Larry Zbyszko. So they produce a lot of great wrestlers. And I know we have a lot of great fans who attend the matches up at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Looking forward to the NWA coming back there very soon. Back to the ropes, to the other side now. Douglas, the man fell right on top of him. Douglas turns him over, climbs him up by the hair. him over for a brainbuster DDT move. And that's it. Shane Douglas with a variety of moves. KO's Rick Aresi and wins this event on NWA Worldwide Wrestling. As Aresi is down and out. Take a look one more time. That brainbuster DDT. What a move it is. And Douglas knows them all. The belly-to-belly that he's learned from Magnum and much, much more. Let's go to Bob Cotter.
And we're here with the Western States Heritage Champion, Larry Zbyszko, Baby Doll, and Dusty Rhodes. Larry Zbyszko keeps calling for Dusty. Dusty said, by the way, Baby Doll, he's never done anything wrong in his life.
Dusty, how would you like it if we just showed a portion of those pictures? A small part, maybe like a half of one torn in half, or maybe a corner part. I think we're going to embarrass you before it's all over with, Dusty, because you haven't called our bluff, and we haven't called yours yet. But when it comes right down to it, Dusty, I bet you right here, and that's all that it takes. Right, Larry?
You know, we're getting offers from Star Magazine, National Enquirer, People Magazine is offering us money to turn over your portfolio, Rhodes. You know, now I understand that 1988, crap is king, brother. But let me tell you, you and Jimmy Swaggart are both going to be on there crying the blues because I'm going to humiliate you. Now you turn over the belt to Baby Doll or myself, or brother, you're going to repent for your sins just like everybody else, full of immorality, pretending to be a good example to the youth of this country. And Rhodes, we are going to make sure you do it. I've had it up to here. Baby Doll gets off. Maybe I'm making you sweat. You're a real hunk there, Rhodes. I'm running out of patience. You either do it our way, or you and Brother Swaggart are both going to be crying the blues.
There is no doubt that excitement reigns when Sting enters the ring and he's going up against Bob Embry, one of the top contenders. And the man right on the hunt right after now, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And it says a lot for a young man like Sting, who hasn't been in the sport as long as Ric Flair. It says a lot for him to be able to push the champ. It was right here on this program a couple of weeks ago where he did right to the limit, had him in the Scorpion Deathlock. And if you ask Sting, Sting will be the first to tell you that, yes, he had him. That the title was his. It didn't take long. With moves like that. And the Scorpion Deathlock. There you see the pain on the face of Embry, that's all. Your winner is Sting. Take a look one more time at the flying move. Okay, here's the man. He's been making a lot of noise around the NWA, and rightfully so. Let's welcome back Sting.
Oh, lots of trouble going on right now in the NWA. Dusty Rhodes, Twin Towers, total package, and Barry Windham. A little bit upset with the varsity club. Something's going to be done about that. And imagine this. Twin Towers with those belts, Arn and Tully. Nature Boy, from me to you, boy. I bet you're sitting right there watching this TV and all the TVs we do in a puddle of sweat. And I get this feeling it's not from any physical activity. You see, because this kid that you've been calling a punk has done the number on you, hasn't he? I think it's from nerves and maybe a little bit of jealousy. Because, see, when I howl to all those people out there and they howl back to me, you get a little jealous, don't you?
And for action right after this timeout. The crowd in the Cincinnati Gardens looks on the NWA. And, you know, to say that they're thinking about the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup, thinking that, hey, we're the World Tag Team Champions. We should be the #1 seed. Well, they got to think about something else also, and they're the type of athletes and the type of veterans that will not put the cart before the horse, and that is there is a definite threat out there to their World Tag Team titles, and that threat comes in the form of Barry Windham and Lex Luger. Certain threats to the NWA World Tag Team title. So if they are looking ahead to the Crockett Cup, then they realize that Windham and Luger could slip in there, they could slip up and lose the World Tag Team title. But they're too good athletes to shut out Barry Windham and Lex Luger. And of course, there's always, as Joe Cruz goes down, Andrew Bellamy's partner, there's always a chance as Randy Anderson is talking to Tully Blanchard while Arn Anderson kicks away, that the Horsemen are always around in a group, sort of like a gang in many ways. You contend with one, you contend with JJ, Ric Flair, Tully and Arn, all four of them. Arn Anderson in there. And here comes Spine Buster, and what a move it is. The force right down on the base of the spine of Cruz. And for good measure, stomping right along the forehead. And now Tully Blanchard, this man, now one half of the World Tag Team Champions, but a champion over and over again. World Television Champion, U.S. Champion. He's had just about all titles in the NWA. And with that slingshot suplex, the NWA World Tag Team Champion win once again. And you saw Arn Anderson with the four fingers stretched out. There are your winners. Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Here we go one more time. Arn had put on the spine buster, and it was only a matter of time as they took care of Joe Cruz. There's a slingshot. Your winners, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, members of the Four Horsemen, along with Ric Flair, who's with Bob Tuttle.
And here is the king, the world heavyweight champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair. And I tell you, you've met challenge after challenge after challenge over the years, but never one, I don't believe, any more formidable than Sting, champ.
No doubt about it, Bob Caudle. I got to give him his due. He's a great athlete. He possesses tremendous physical strength. He stands 6'4". He weighs 270 pounds. He indeed is an awesome athlete, a tremendous athlete. And he knows that to be where he wants to be, he's got to achieve 120% every night of his life. And Sting, a different note tonight, pal. I'm giving you your due. I'm telling you, you're one of the best I've been in the ring with, but you are not the best. I'm the best. And until you can walk that aisle and walk on this television program and tell Bob Caudle or Jim Crockett that you have beat Ric Flair for the World Championship, you will always be #2. That's the difference, my friend. 10 years ago, I talked about it. Woo, and Lordy, I did it. I did it. I lived and I fulfilled that dream. I became the world champion. I'm dying for somebody to come forth and bring me the ultimate test. Pal, I hope it's you, because every night that my Duke goes up in the air, I become that much greater, that much more confident. Sting, somewhere, sometime, somehow, pal, you will be mine. And Bob Caudle, one quick note, J.J. Dillon is this close to signing the fourth man. Woo!
So the NWA World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, along with #1 Paul Jones. You know, in the span of just a couple of weeks, they injured Animal the Road Warriors. They took the NWA World Six-Man Tag Team belts from the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes. So yes, Paul Jones is riding on a crest right now. He's on a high because these two men certainly have had as good a 1988 as any team in the sport, any two men. And I know they would like to add the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament to that list. There's no doubt. The tournament won last year by Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff, the Superpowers. The year before by the Road Warriors. It's a tournament that has become because you have to wrestle so many times in the span of 2 days. It's one for endurance. It seems like the powerful men in this sport have really been coming through in this tournament. Have been to the forefront. So yes, you can say that the Barbarian and the Warlord certainly are two men who have to be considered two of the favorites in the tournament. Curtis Thompson and Trent Knight, the opponents. And it's really no finesse with these two men. It's just a matter of one hold, the other one beat on him, and vice versa. Double move that time. It was like form of a suplex with the Warlord going back and the Barbarian flying from the top of the crowd here at the Garden. Cincinnati just oohs and ahs at the power moves these two men continue to come up with. Jones really not even concerned with the match. He is just walking back and forth, kind of casting an eye towards the fans like, see what I have. Enjoy my two immense men. And there's Paul Jones beating on that mat, and out goes Curtis Thompson. He hit very hard here on the floor, and he rolled right up against the steel railing around. The Warlord drops down to get him. Stomping away now right at the head. And the man really took a terrible tumble right onto the floor here. And that's solid hardwood underneath this protective covering. They play basketball here at the Cincinnati Gardens. And they have solid hardwood floor underneath. And you know that had to hurt when he fell on it. A tag to the Warlord. Right hand right to the back that time. One thing we have to be impressed about between these two men is that they do work extremely well as a tag team. Constant tag lock. There's no doubt these two men, the Powers of Pain.
You know, Tony, I'm awfully proud of Ivan Koloff and Powers of Pain, the world's six-man champion. And you know, these men were always the world's strongest wrestlers. All I did was put them together and showed them a little love and a little direction. And they destroyed the Road Warriors. Beat them in a bench press contest. Let them lay it in the middle. And that's leading me into something coming up, the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup. Who do you think has the #1 position? Should have. That should be Powers of Pain, because they are the world's strongest wrestlers. And by the time the cup gets here, these men are going to destroy enough men, enough wrestlers, where they're going to be, without a doubt, the #1 seed. Now the Road Warriors are running and crying to promoters, wanting open contracts of Powers of Pain. Well, they're there. They're signed. These men are the world's strongest wrestlers. They're not running or hiding from you, Road Warriors. You bring it on. Because I promised the people in 1988 that it was going to be your last wrestling matches. And, brother, Powers of Pain are going to go down in history as the team that destroyed the Road Warriors. Now, you know, the six-man belt, Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors, all the critics said, nobody can beat Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors. They're #1. Powers of Pain and Ivan Koloff did it in one try. Now, brother, they're trying for revenge. They said they may have had an off night. Well, I know if we give them another title shot, they'll have an ace in the hole. Well, we're ready. Ivan Koloff has got these two men ready for anything. So you bring it on. I'm keeping a promise to myself and a promise to Power of Pain. They are going to be #1 in '88.
No denying that. Fans, for Bob Cotto, I'm Tony Schiavone. We'll see you somewhere this week ringside with the NWA, the Major League.